Blackstone Audio presents The Mistress of Paris, the 19th-Century Courtesan Who Built an Empire on a Secret, by Catherine Hewitt. This book is read by Sarah Nichols. Prologue. One Sunday afternoon in May 1933, journalist Jean Robert found himself in the northern French town of Caen. He had been invited to attend a lunch with some old school friends. Having spent several pleasant hours in their company, he hastened along to the town hall. The annual exhibition of Lower Normandy artists was underway, and he was eager to see it before returning home. Once satisfied with his tour of the gallery, he stepped outside into the mid-afternoon sun. Checking his watch, Robert realized that he still had an hour before his bus left. As he pondered how best to use this time, his eyes alighted on a door just ahead of him. It was the entrance to the local museum. It had been left wide open, inviting. Delighted by the prospect of an absent-minded meander around the museum, the journalist hurried inside. He climbed the stairs and entered the first room. But no sooner had his gaze begun its tour of the exhibition space than something peculiar caught his eye. It was a portrait of a well-to-do gentleman dressed in a blue 18th-century costume. Robert recognized the name of the painter, Édouard VII. He was an artist Robert greatly admired, but VII was a painter of military scenes. This was not a soldier. As Robert stepped closer and read the inscription, he was taken aback. Etienne Michel, Marquis de la Bigne. Then he noticed another painting by the same artist on display close by. This portrait showed an officer in Napoleonic uniform. The subject was identified as Sigismond Tancred, Comte de la Bigne, and both works, the journalist learned, had been bequeathed to the museum by a countess, Valtesse de la Bigne. Robert was startled. He was friends with the current Marquis de la Bigne. Only a few years ago he had assisted his friend in researching his family's history. He could not remember whether he had come across the names of these two men in the course of his research, but one thing was certain: he had never heard of this Valtesse. How was this possible? De la Bigne was a local, noble name. Few people shared it. Those who did were almost certainly of the same family. How could he have missed the existence of a countess, and one who had died so recently? And how was it that these paintings had found their way into the museum in Caen? As he left the museum, the strange name Valtesse ran through his mind. Who was this woman? He had to find out more. Robert knew there to be some members of the de la Bigne family living in Paris, and he wasted no time in paying them a visit. Yes, they had heard about this woman.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?